Welcome back to Success and Equity on BCTV. I'm your host, Francis Mayer, and I've got poor posture. But what I don't have is poor guests. The One Act Festival is coming to Bakersfield College in April 27th, 28th, and 29th. And I learned something wonderful today, like I do almost every day that I'm on 1801 Panorama Drive, home of Bakersfield College, one of the most prestigious junior colleges in the state and the nation. That this is locally written and directed, right, Mr. Lee?
Correct.
Wow. There's a lot of talent in this town.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Don't worry, I'll boast for you. You are taking on two roles here. You are directing a play.
Yes.
And then you're also acting in Bridges, written by Professor Jack Hernandez. And he got right down to it and told us this was inspired by his son who died by suicide. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of awareness on campus recently about this topic, and it's a tough topic to talk about. People don't want to talk about it. It's very uncomfortable. How has it been memorizing the scripts, for one thing, and kind of getting into the character of someone who seems to have lost hope?
The memorizing is surprisingly easy, especially with all the philosophy and stuff that he has involved with it. Relating to the character is also very easy. It's surprisingly easy and frighteningly easy. But I have hope for myself, so it's not like I'm going to go, woo.
Right. Well, and even if you were, or even if you felt that way, you seem like you'd be a person who'd be forthcoming about it. I mean, you just told us right now on a televised product that you related to this character who is hopeless and suicidal. But I don't think it's a cliche, personally, that people who work in the arts are kind of skew a little bit more to the depressive. Right? I mean, I've worked in media most of my adult life, and I'd say, more than half of every staff that I've been a part of has like a observable and diagnosable mental health issue.
It's all that thinking,
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, my stepdad worked in a mill, and he was like, dude, that thinking's bad for you. Like, you need to leave. That's part of your problem right there, But you, as Professor Hernandez said, you're trying to get to the bottom of some things and explain them through the art, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. There is a goal.
And the goal is to?
Well, it's two people, and one of them realizes that the other is going to commit suicide, and so they start having the discussion of there's so much to live for, and everyone has had those moments where you're feeling down and you don't feel like there's anything left, and it just seems like the world's crashing down on your shoulders, and it's just an argument between two sides of that coin, and they're both extreme, and the goal is to decide for yourself what coin or what side of the coin you're going to land on. Right.
Yeah, I tell you what, I did not see this coming today. I guess I thought when this was pitched to me by Professor Kimberly, who's a wonderful talent and an asset to the college, that I don't know why I assumed it was going to be more lighthearted fare, but you said everybody feels this way, and I think you're correct. I think that there's people from all walks of life that we find out have struggled with depression or substance abuse or other things that people who are really comfortable in their own skin don't find themselves in that position, right?
Absolutely.
So these are universal themes. Have you acted or directed before?
Yes, I have. Well, not directed. This is my first time directing, and Nick wrote a great script, so it's very easy to direct.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
All right, very good. How different are these pieces of work? That Bridges seems very stark. Seems pretty heavy. But I have a feeling Nick is kind of going to slip one in on us there.
As far as humor goes, one is definitely more serious than the other. His is a comedy, and it is pretty good, but it also has some serious moments and serious themes, which makes a good comedy.
Now, it doesn't comedy, like in the classical sense, doesn't it mean like funny or bad things that happen to poor people? And a tragedy is when bad things happen to rich people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, stuff doesn't change, does it? Oh, anyway, and has Nick backseat driven you on this one, or is he leaving you alone and letting you interpret the work? Because why don't you tell the audience, what does a director do?
A director takes a script from a playwright and interprets it and puts it on, creates his own vision, and then like tweaks it. Because in the past there were playwrights who wrote comedies and then they gave it to the director, and the director made a tragedy.
Yeah.
So like it's really interesting, the process between playwright and director. The first 3 weeks of rehearsals, Nick was not involved at all. But then Kim brought him in, and now we're about to start co-directing it together. And I'm really looking forward to his input, because the notes that Kim gave me from him were very constructive and were very within the views and ideas that I already had.
Now, no, I want to clarify for folks watching who don't understand the concept of notes. I just taught Belen about this recently. I wish life had notes. I wish every workplace had notes. And notes in a creative process are when people get real, right?
Yeah.
That's in corporate speak, it's a courageous conversation. But in notes, you know, a director or anybody for that matter could say, your read was flat. I need you to bring more energy. I think that you're going to kill this scene if you continue playing it the way you're playing it.
Yep.
And, you know, you don't, no, there's no like emotional arguments. Well, sometimes there are. But that's part of making a good show, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You have to be honest like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried that Nick's about to get honest with you?
No. I've acted for like 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Been in multiple plays, so notes is something I take pretty good.
Yeah, and has it always gone well?
It depends. As an actor, you know, you get those directors who kind of irk you a little bit because
Yeah,
they
right.
just say things and you're like, but that doesn't, I don't know how to do that. And they just expect you to. But it stretches you and it makes you a bigger person in the end, and it's fun.
Right. Yeah. And if you haven't been out to see a play, I think this is the best opportunity I can think of. And this is not to put any pressure on you two, because you definitely have experience, and I don't think you would take it as such. But anything can happen in live theater.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could have a panic attack. You could lose control of your bladder. You could forget your lines. A lot of things could happen. You could get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
You could really have a breakthrough with the material on stage in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And go with it. And we've seen that happen. And the best part about this, of course, is that people who live right here in our little town of Bakersfield came up with this material. It came out of your head. Even if it was in just one night. I have a hard time believing that you hadn't thought of some of these concepts and ideas and characters. Were they living in your toolbox, or did you just shove all this out one day?
You know what? It was probably residing somewhere in my subconscious, you know, because I hadn't really thought about it that much. But I think the point of it was just to write something that was entertaining, funny, you know, but thought-provoking at the same time. And I just, shoved it all out.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And hey, there's no better person to get bad news from than the guy with a black sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me anyway. Yeah. Well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. I was given the script for Bridges by Professor Hernandez, and like I said, I did not expect him to come that intensely. Is this something that's going to happen again, do you think?
It really depends on Kim and the BC staff. Like, if they give us the allotted time and the places, then we can. We want to, but we don't know.
So 30 minutes, by the way. This is something that we talked about that we were going to bring up, but then things took precedence. 30 minutes. Well, actually 30, 60, 90 minutes when this is all done, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have 3 showings of your script.
Yeah.
90 minutes of performance. How many hours went into that? I mean, this is days of your life, right? Whole days
Yeah.
for a 90-minute product at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Seriously, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been rehearsing?
For about 3 weeks, about 4 out of the 7 days each week, 3 hours each day.
For 30 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, boy, it is an incredible distillation of emotions and efforts, and I'll just say it now: blood, sweat, and tears. And we can't wait to see what happens. I feel like you have been a little vague about what is going to come out in this 30 minutes, but that makes it all the more interesting. That's juxtaposed against Bridges, Professor Hernandez's play, which is derivative and comes from the experience of his son dying by suicide. And it seems like there's going to be some good yin-yang balance here. And again, Professor Kimberly, it seems like she gives you students a lot of creative range, a lot of freedom. She's not afraid to take risks, is she?
No, and it's very nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It allows us to wet our feet, so to speak, and that's something you don't get a lot.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I mean, experience is definitely the best teacher, and sometimes experiences in performing arts are hard to come by. I mean, you have to audition, for crying out loud. Do you think, having had directed now and borne the responsibility of delivering his product, because you're taking his work here, and he's trusted you with it, and now you're going to deliver it, do you think you're going to want to direct again?
Yeah, it's just a fun experience on both sides, acting and directing. Directing took me a whole different way than I thought it would. Because when I'm an actor, I take notes, but when I'm a director, I give them. But as an actor, you want to be nice to everyone and, like, kind, because then they'll invite you back for more shows. But the director, there is no "I'm sorry" at the end of your sentence if you're telling them that they did horrible.
No, and there is sort of an attitude in improv and in performance that we have to be honest, because the audience, will they know if we're lying?
Yeah.
Or if we don't believe the material?
Yeah, if you're not confident, then they'll know it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I imagine, have you had to develop your own style as far as giving notes? Have you had good directors who kind of taught you well?
Yeah, taught by example, because I mean, there are courses you can take in colleges where they teach you to direct, but for me, it's been mostly just example. This is a director I liked. This is a director I liked. I'll take some things from them
and make your own composite director of them. You seem very mellow and very laid back, so I'm thinking about you giving notes, and I'm wondering like how that goes.
Those make the best directors, I think.
Oh, I would agree with you. Yeah.
Then some guy with like a megaphone, just screaming out at
Right.
people. Yeah.
When I worked in radio, I had a program director, Danny Spanks, who is a legend, and he's awesome. And he would just play air checks, and he would like replay me telling a joke like 7 times. And I would be like, oh, I get it. I get why you hate the joke now. It was the 6th or 7th playing that really drove the point home. And that's how he would do it. And he'd be like, all right, man, I was just waiting until you caught it. And I was like,
Play.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, God, my voice. Oh, yes, it's anxiety-inducing. But he was kind about it. And you do realize as a performer that those people are exposing themselves, and they're opening their hearts up in an effort to entertain and convey a message, and you don't want to take advantage of that.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm not getting time cues because I think, Charmaine. Oh, I can rap? I feel like going Bill O'Reilly on her right now. I'm not going to, though.
Do it.
I'll write it. No, I'll write it. We'll do it live. No, we'll do it live! There you go. That was my Bill O'Reilly. And again, the One Act Festival is coming to Bakersfield College April 27th, 28th, 29th. And for more information, you can visit bakersfieldcollege.edu. And it's the 4th item on the rotating dynamic. Or you can email Professor Chin, or you could stop this guy who just looks like a playwright on campus, and he's going to direct you to the Performing Arts Center. It's the beautiful building. That's how I would describe it. So be sure to check these out. They're impactful works that are tackling some of the most difficult subject matter that we deal with as humans. So if you miss it, it's on you. And they'll do it live. For the entire Equity TV team, I'm Francis Mayer, and we'll see you next week.